Let's look at the product rule. The product rule is a way to take derivatives when a function is the product of two factors. I'm calling them u times v. And the way to take the derivative is to create u prime v plus u v prime. And what I mean by that is that the derivative is the derivative of the first factor times the second factor plus the first times the derivative of the second. And let's see that play out with a specific example. And the example that I'd like to use today is this function. F of x equals x to the fourth times the sine of 7x. So, in this example, u is x to the fourth and v is sine of 7x. And all we're going to do is follow this rule. And in fact, taking derivatives is basically following rules. So here's the derivative. It's u prime times v plus u times v prime. And that's it. Later this year we're going to develop a proof of the product rule. But for now what I want to do is give you some compelling evidence as to why it's true or why it works. So we're going to make some more room here. And I'll draw another line. Maybe change my pen color just for variety's sake. And let's see if we can work an example that might convince you that this really does work. So the function I want to use is g of x. And the product is x to the 11th times x to the 7th. And you might be thinking to yourself, hey, isn't that just x to the 18th? Well, you're absolutely right. So you already know what the derivative is. And I'm going to put it off to the side here. You know that the derivative of g is 18x to the 17th. Well, let's see what happens when we approach it from the perspective of the product rule. So, our u is x to the 11th, and our v is x to the 7th. And I'll go ahead and write that down. U is x to the 11th, v is x to the 7th. And then I'm going to jot down u prime, which we know is 11x to the 10th. And I'll write down v prime, which is 7x to the 6th. And let's see what happens now when we play out the product rule. So, the first thing we're going to do is u prime times v, and that product is 11x to the 17th. And then we're going to add to it u, which is x to the 11th, and v prime, 7x to the 6th. And that product is 7x to the 17th. And when we add those results, we indeed get 18x to the 17th. And wow, that's exactly what we were anticipating. Terrific.